Hi everyone, welcome to Appliance Advisers. I'm Francesco, joined by Dennis. Today's episode is going to be the hidden costs of paneling a built-in refrigerator. Now we've done an episode really about paneling versus stainless steel on appliances as a whole. We wanted to make sure we talked about this segment specifically with built-in refrigeration, really because of all the new styles of refrigeration that have come out here over the last year or two. We have a lot more door styles, door configurations, and it's really changed the way that stainless versus panel ready in that built-in refrigeration segment has really kind of looked recently. So
So let's talk first just about appliance costs.
Yeah.
So the difference between buying a pre-finished stainless steel appliance or a stainless steel appliance versus one that is panel ready, needing you to go purchase a panel from a cabinet shop. In the cost of the appliance, and we're specifically talking about refrigerators, a running average would be somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 less. I don't care almost what brand it is. To buy the panel ready version is less expensive than the panel version, than the pre-finished stainless steel version. So it's a savings of about $1,000 to $1,500, but we need to dig deeper than that. Pre-COVID, you could probably have panels made for most of the difference, and net end up spending about $1,500 to $2,000 more to have these custom panels, and it kind of evened out. But we did a post-COVID kind of deep dive with a bunch of the cabinet folks that we work with in some meetings recently. We asked these questions, and it kind of went across the board. It didn't matter if they were a custom shop, truly meaning making the cabinets themselves, or someone that worked through manufacturers of cabinets and had to go to the factory and order on behalf of the customer a custom-sized panel. Panels are running, it was without fail, roughly $1,000 a panel. And that was really interesting to me because it's a lot more expensive, I think, than going in. I think going in, it was probably, $600 to $850 kind of thing, but 1,000 was just like a standard. And maybe that's not a big enough jump, but if you think about the way the fridges are changing, it can be. So the other thing just we'll touch on quickly there is it's not only the cost of the panels, but it's the cost of the handle. So if we can establish that a price is roughly $1,000 in the market, and it doesn't matter whether that's a smaller door panel, they tell us the time and the prep and the paint gun time to set up, break down, all that time is pretty much the same, whether it's a 48-inch panel or a 22-inch panel. So if we know that's running $1,000, you then have to think about handles. And in the refrigerator space, we ask those same questions. What's the running rate of handles? We buy a lot of these for the showroom. We know what we think, but if you generally they $275 to $450 and up. Some people spend a lot more. But I think 350 is kind of 350 is probably a good weighted average just when you're budgeting to think about this thing. So, now what's really got our not our hair up, it's the consumer's money, but we think we're telling our sales staff they have to educate to some of these hidden costs because I think it's just fair to do. So we've seen this trend specifically in the bottom refrigerators, what we call the French door style, which means the freezer's on the bottom in some capacity, and the refrigerator doors were split up top. We're seeing this style go from 36 inches wide to now 42 and 48-inch versions, which I think are great. But now we're seeing multiple doors. So in a classic brand like Sub-Zero, it always stays with 3 doors. So I'm going to tell you, if you're doing the weighted average, if it's 3 doors, $3,000 per door. It's $1,000 a door. Let's say $300 a handle, $900. Sometime around $3,900 to put panels and handles on a range, on a refrigerator. And remembering again, the fridge probably costs $1,500 less than the stainless steel version. So you're spending a bit more. But you're getting that perfect look. But now brands like Thermador, SKS, Monogram, in their 36-inch units, where it used to be 3 doors, it's now 4 doors. Okay, so let's just think about it. It's 4 doors. That's $1,000 more in just, you need a 4th panel. You need a 4th handle. It's $1,300 more on the running average.
Exactly,
When you go to some of these 48-inch versions, SKS and Thermador, there's 6 doors on it. Six. Classic Sub-Zero's 3, right? So
twice as much.
The Sub-Zero cost is still roughly $3,900 between $1,000 per panel, three panels, and $300 per handle as an estimate. You go to these other brands, 6 doors, $6,000.
Yeah.
6 handles. You know, now you're talking $1,800. So you're talking $7,800 to handle the darn thing.
Yeah, it adds up quick.
And a lot of times it's a real consideration, because sometimes with any brand, all brands today, there's also marketing spins on buy more, save more, buy this, get that, buy this, you get that for free. And when you do all those things, you might be looking initially at the package price, walking out the door at the appliance store, which is important. But at the same point, if you have $7,000 in hidden fees you didn't factor in when you bought the package, waiting for you at home, you may want to strongly reconsider, or at least need to factor that in.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be an aha moment down the road.
Definitely.
That you're probably not expecting.
And that's the thing. It's like, it still may make sense for a lot of people. They still may love that design, and that's great. It's the thing that we want to make sure is, like you said, you are aware of those costs, because there's those things that you're walking, you're leaving, you're feeling great about the decision, then you get to the cabinet maker, you're like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't really think about that. And it's a huge difference. So now let's talk about the installation on those too. Because there could be, that has things from more maybe additional costs, but as well as how those look in your home. Yeah. So those are definitely some things to consider there.
Yeah, I mean, a classic, whether it was stainless steel or 3-door, the old, I guess what everyone had as a standard up until very recently, right? Now we're seeing these 4- and 6-door models and bigger units come out. An average cost to install a built-in refrigerator was probably somewhere around $1,000, somewhere between $700 to $1,000. It's time, it's expertise, and it's time. And it's moving, and it's a lot of moving parts, and it's an 800-pound animal, and you're putting, we do them for $99, which we can only do that because we own our own labor force, we control our own costs, and honestly, because we're a massive servicer, we get caught up in the middle when it's not done right. So we want to do it right the first time. So we are very aggressive in that price, but it's the right thing to do, we think. That said, with these 4- and 6-door models we talked about, whether it's SKS, Thermador, Monogram, those are going to be more expensive, and they have to be, because they also are touting the fact that their cabinet lines and the reveals of the cabinet doors as their appliance is built, which is a nice feat, can tie into the cabinet doors left and right of the actual appliance. The time for us to, if we're doing it in stainless steel and those things, we'll still do it for $99 because it's pre-finished and it's quick and easy. But when we're sitting there having to line up all these cabinets, put on all the door handles, again, pre-drilled by the customer, at least for us, put on all the door handles, and then trying to tie what is never a truly flat floor, no floor is perfectly level, and tie into the cabinet reveals and lines to the left. Beyond the appliance, it's hard. You have all these door things going on. You got to get that right. And then try to tie into the cabinets left and right. And you factor in the time to uninstall, reinstall sometimes. Like, we're seeing on a 48-inch fridge an industry average. Now, we've just shopped. It's not just us, our competitors as well. $1,700 to $2,100 cost to put in like a 6-door model.
Because of the time that it takes, like you said, to level it and make sure it looks perfect.
So I already told you that the fridge is 6 panels. That's $6,000, $1,000 running panel as an industry average. $300 a handle, that's $1,800. So you're $7,800. And now conceptually, depending on where you go, an install price, let's just say of somewhere around $2,000. Were you factoring in 10 grand when you bought the package?
Right.
Were you thinking about those things? Again, 60% of the refrigerators we sell are paneled. So we're not trying to say, we're just saying you need to think about these things. And I don't know, and it's not a plug for Sub-Zero, but I would just honestly say the Sub-Zero is the best value in town at that price point. A Miele French door refrigerator that is the same platform as all the other brands that kept its 3-door classic style, totally flush, is a value.
Even just the price points of those refrigerators themselves are a good value at this point too. And like we said, it's like that style, and that's nothing against that 6-door style. That could be, some people it's a personal preference there too. It may make sense for you. But those are the things that you absolutely have to consider, is all the other things that go along with that. Yeah. The installation, and how you got to make sure you're working with someone that levels it and really kind of makes it tie in with your cabinet lines and does that perfectly. And that can adjust over time too, as the wood continues to settle and the fridge settles. So all those things that you don't really consider, the cost, the install, those are just things that we want to make sure are in the forefront.
And finally, just thinking about the end look of 6 handles is a lot of handles going on in one 48-inch space. Yeah. And the handles need to be substantial enough to pull these doors. And how does that hardware tie into everything else? So listen, this is great. I mean, it's kind of really interesting to us to see how will the consumers resonate with it.
Yeah.
How will they resonate with the hidden costs of it? And kind of where the market goes. I think it's a Me Too market a lot of times, where one manufacturer does it, everyone else chases. But I will tell you this, at least for our customers, in the non-premium space, regular refrigerators, brand like LG, Samsung, KitchenAid, those brands that have tried these multi-door 4 and 6 unit things. When I say this, someone's going to pop on and be like, "Oh, I love mine. I get it." But when you're talking about tonnage and what you actually sell, it is a very finite amount of people that actually want all those.
Yeah.
And just another consideration to know, with all those brands, as you add doors, you are adding layers of insulation. You are reducing your cubic square footage by about 25%. So you got all the doors, which you might like, but it costs you more, and you actually cost you space.
Right. And the reason too is, like, if you open, like, you look at those 6 doors, like those 2 side-by-side drawers on the bottom, if you open that up, there's all that dead space in the middle there too, in between the drawers. So.
And the last cabinet tip I'd say to you is, sometimes with these units, how they install, the doors panels themselves, absolutely, reveal over the edge of the physical unit, the appliance itself. So if the unit's 48 inches, the physical appliance might be 47 and a half, 47 and a quarter, generally 47 and a half. So your cabinet is gonna be proud on the outside. So you wanna make sure you finish the inside edges of those cabinets. The backs of those cabinets should be finished. And sometimes, again, we heard a lot of stories post-COVID where manufacturers stopped doing that because it was a step in COVID, or forgot to do it. You just want to make sure those are finished, because you're going to actually see them exposed when you pull out the door.
Yeah.
You're going to see it. So a lot to it. Maybe we'll do like a 6-month update on this and see what the market's actually doing and how it's responding.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's going to do it for paneled refrigerators.
And don't forget to follow us on social media for appliance tips and updates from Yale Appliance.
Your feedback is what shapes our series. Like what you saw? Give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you.
Stay informed and inspired on all your appliance needs. This is Appliance Advisors signing off.